everyone. Welcome to the very first episode of the Ag Everywhere podcast. I am so excited to journey across the United States and then the continents around the world with you this year. We will be learning about agriculture across the world with interesting educational facts, clean jokes, fun activities, and of course, the Bible. Before we get started today, go ahead and grab a few supplies if you have them on hand. But if not, just listen along. If you have a calendar you like to write on, get it out. If not, a piece of paper and something to write with will work just fine. Do you have a globe or picture of a map of the United States? If so, you'll want to have it out, but if not, maybe you can pull one up on the phone or computer to look at. I'll give you a second to gather your supplies now. Again, you'll want to grab a calendar, a piece of paper, and something to write with, and a map of the U.S. if you have one. But remember, if you don't have them, it's okay to just listen along. Do you have your supplies? Great, then let's get started with today's episode of Ag Everywhere. The first thing we're going to do today is take a moment to write down a Bible verse for this month. You can study it at home or work on memorizing this verse in Scripture in your spare time. This month's verse is Isaiah 7:22, which says, "And because of the abundance of milk that they give, he will eat curds and honey." Again, that is Isaiah 7:22, which says, "And because of the abundance of milk that they give, he will eat curds and honey." I hope you'll take some time to further study and memorize that verse this month. There are 4 exciting National Day ofs in January that we are going to discuss today. Get your calendars out so we can jot down these dates. January 5th is National Whipped Cream Day. January 11th is National Milk Day. January 15th is National Bagel Day. And January 20th is National Cheese Lovers Day. Be sure to grab a bagel and spread some delicious cream cheese on it for a tasty snack January 15th. In honor of all these National Day ofs this month, there's no butter time to learn about. You guessed it, dairy. Did you know that milk comes from dairy cows? And milk can turn into so many delicious foods you find at the supermarket. Milk is used to make products such as cheese, ice cream, whipped cream, butter, and more. While all female cows can produce milk, certain breeds are better for milk production than others. The number 1 dairy cow breed in the U.S. is the Holstein cow, and it typically produces nearly 9 gallons of milk per day. Wow, that's a lot of milk. Just think, if one person on every street had a Holstein cow, they could supply the street with milk for the week. Wouldn't it be nice to not have to go to the grocery store for milk? It's crazy the difference that one person can make by becoming involved in agriculture. Wait, are we actually talking about agriculture in January, a winter month? Does agriculture exist during the winter? Isn't ag all about farming and ranching, and nobody wants to be outside when it's bitter cold out, right? No, agriculture absolutely does exist in the winter. It's happening 24/7, 365 days a year all over the world. While agriculture may look different in the winter months, it still exists. Let's focus on what dairy production looks like during the winter months. While dairy cows will continue to produce milk in the winter, the amount they produce can greatly decrease for several reasons. Reason number 1 is for energy diversion. When it's cold out, cows use more of their energy to stay warm, and so they have less energy to produce milk. Reason number 2 is that winter often leads to decreased water intake. Cows need to be well hydrated for optimum milk production, but frozen water sources and extremely cold water temperatures can limit how much cows drink and greatly affect their milk production. Reason number 3 is the cold, short days that accompany winter. Did you know that winter has the shortest hours of daylight? The good news is that farmers are able to mitigate the effects that winter has on their cattle's milk production by providing shelter, higher energy feeds, access to unfrozen water, and artificial light. Farmers will do everything they can to help their livestock and keep up their production rates so that you can have food on your tables. I think it is about time for a joke. Are you ready? All right, where does spoiled milk come from? Pampered cows. They've been spoiled rotten. Okay, how about one more? What do you use to count cows? A calculator. Now then, let's take a closer look at some of the top producing dairy states in the U.S. Take a look at your map or globe as we jump into agriculture in the Northeast region of the United States. The Northeast region of the United States includes Pennsylvania, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and Maine. If you have a printed map, go ahead and color in each state as we learn about them today. While each of the Northeast region states helps provide dairy products to the stores you shop in, there is one that does so more than others: New York. New York is actually among the top 5 states for milk production and is number 1 in the nation for cream cheese and cottage cheese production. Who would have thought? Pennsylvania is the largest mushroom producing state in the U.S. and the 4th largest producer of food products. Wow. New Hampshire is known for its production of maple syrup. Did you know maple syrup is made from the sap of maple trees? The state produces nearly 90,000 gallons of maple syrup a year. I wonder how many pancakes you could enjoy with that much syrup. Massachusetts ranks in as the 47th state in ag production, but they still play a vital role in the industry. They are the 2nd largest producer of cranberries. In Connecticut, 50% of the state's agricultural production stems from greenhouse and nursery products. Rhode Island may be the smallest state in the U.S., but they are no stranger to agriculture. They have a diverse production of crops and participate in aquaculture, particularly through oyster farming. Aquaculture is farming in water or commercial fishing. New Jersey is known for its production of blueberries, cranberries, peaches, and bell peppers. Broilers are the most valuable agricultural commodity of Delaware. What? A broiler? What is a broiler? Well, a broiler is a meat bird. Broilers are referring to raising chickens for meat production instead of eggs. In Maryland, agriculture is the largest commercial industry, employing nearly 350,000 people. Last but not least, Maine is the state that produces the most lobsters for the U.S. and is the world's leading producer of wild blueberries. It sounds like the Northeast region of the United States plays a vital role in agriculture and filling the shelves of your grocery stores with nutritious products that you enjoy. Now then, would you all like to hear an utterly hilarious joke? Okay, what do you call cheese that isn't yours? Nacho cheese. Here's a quick pop quiz to test your listening skills. Don't worry, I'm not grading you, and you can make some delicious whipped cream once we finish up the quiz. All right, question number 1. How many gallons of milk a day can a Holstein dairy cow produce? 9 gallons. All right, question number 2. Which state is the world's top producer of wild blueberries? Maine. And question number 3, true or false? Milk can be made into butter. True. All right, enough with the quiz questions. Let's head to the kitchen and whip up a fun dairy-based recipe. We're going to make some whipped cream. Before we get started, you'll need to gather a few supplies. And if you don't have them on hand today, just jot down the ingredient list and recipe to make them later on. For the ingredients, you will need 1 pint or 2 cups of cold, heavy whipping cream, a half a cup of powdered sugar, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Again, for the ingredients, you will need 1 pint or 2 cups of cold, heavy whipping cream, a half a cup of powdered sugar, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. You will also need a mixer and a mixing bowl. Once you've gathered all of your ingredients, you'll need to place the mixing bowl in the freezer for 15 to 30 minutes. Once your bowl is chilled, add all of your ingredients and use the wire whisk attachment to beat the ingredients together. Beat them for 60 to 90 seconds, starting on a low speed and moving to high as it begins to thicken. Once you've mixed the whipped cream to its desired consistency, you can enjoy it by itself, on top of a bowl of ice cream, or mixed in some hot cocoa for a special treat. Who knew it was so easy to make whipped cream? Isn't dairy great? If you weren't able to make today's recipe, here's a few other activities for you to try out. The first one is easy. Can you moo like a cow? Moo. Moo. There's a lot of different ways to moo like a cow. How about drawing a picture on your paper about dairy cows? Get creative, and once you've drawn your awesome picture, maybe try writing a poem about it. I'll be giving you an example of an acrostic poem today, which is a poem in which the first letters of each line spell out a word vertically. Vertically means up and down. So my acrostic poem will be for the word dairy. So on my paper, I will write D, and then on the next line I will write A, and the next line I will write I, and the next R, and then on the next line Y. So for my acrostic poem example for the word dairy, I have wrote, delicious and creamy, amazing to eat, ice cream and whipped cream, really my favorite treat, yummy in my tummy. You can pick any word you want for your poem. If you'd like it to go along with today's podcast, maybe choose the word cow, cattle, dairy, milk, whipped cream, or cheese. I'd love to hear what you come up with. I'm sure you will all write some wonderful poems. If you enjoyed today's episode and you'd like to learn more, be sure and go to agfoundation.org for a list of ag-accurate books you can check out at your local library or purchase from your favorite bookstore. If you'd like a chance for your poem to be read on next month's podcast and featured on our social media pages, be sure and email a copy over to ageverywhere@outlook.com. We love to read what you come up with and see photos of you enjoying the activities from the Ag Everywhere podcast. Again, you can email those over to us at ageverywhere@outlook.com. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Be sure and tune in next month as we learn about some famous inventors in the agricultural industry, all from the Midwest region of the United States. Have a wonderful day.